Okay, so Apple's doing something with the iPhone 18 Pro that they haven't done in years. And I'm not talking about the foldable. Everybody's talking about the foldable. I'm talking about six specific upgrades to the phone most people are actually going to buy. And one of them, it's a feature that's been locked to $1,000 professional cameras until right now. But here's the thing, nobody's putting together, these six features don't just make the iPhone 18 Pro better. They fix the exact things people complained about on the 17 Pro. And I think that's on purpose. So here's the situation. This fall, Apple is splitting the iPhone 18 lineup for the first time. The Pro and Pro Max launch in September, like usual, but the standard iPhone 18 and 18e, those are getting pushed to spring 2027, which means if you want a new iPhone this fall, you're looking at a Pro Max, or the new foldable iPhone Ultra that'll probably cost you a kidney and a half. So the 18 Pro suddenly becomes the most important iPhone of the year. And honestly, after digging into every leak and rumor from the last 3 months, I think Apple knows that because these six features feel very deliberate. Let me walk you through all of them, and I'll tell you which one actually matters the most at the end. Let's start with what you'll notice the second you pick this thing up. Three design changes: smaller dynamic island, a unified look on the back, and new color options. First, the dynamic island. An alleged prototype image leaked showing the dynamic island is roughly 25 to 30% smaller. That's because Face ID components are moving under the display, which should enable the smallest display cutout in years. Now, look, the dynamic island was never ugly, but it was always a compromise. Apple turning a hardware limitation into a software feature was clever. Sure, it was also the design equivalent of putting a bumper sticker over a dent on your car, so making it smaller, good move. Second, the back of the phone. The iPhone 17 Pro's two-tone rear design has been polarizing, so Apple plans to better blend the aluminum and glass areas for a unified look. The 18 Pro reportedly won't have that two-tone look. Apple's updated the back glass to minimize the color difference for a more unified appearance. Honestly, thank you. That two-tone thing looked like two different phones got fused together in a lab accident. And then colors. Apple's been working on a dark cherry option as the headline new color, and the hue will apparently be much closer to wine than fruit punch. It could be sold alongside light blue, dark gray, and silver models. Cosmic orange and deep blue, gone. Discontinued. I actually love that. A dark cherry iPhone feels grown up in a way that Cosmic Orange never quite did. Okay, now here's where it gets genuinely interesting. Apple's A20 Pro chip is expected to use TSMC's first generation 2 nanometer process compared to the A19 Pro, which is 3 nanometer. Now, I know nanometers, process nodes, it sounds like a textbook, but here's what this actually means for you. The A20 Pro will be Apple's first chip built with a 2 nanometer process, and it'll also use wafer level multi-chip module packaging. Both of these advancements should lead to greater than usual improvements over the A19 Pro, making the iPhone 18 Pro excel in performance, efficiency, and AI tasks. It's like going from a regular engine to a turbocharged one, except the turbocharged one also uses less fuel. That's the 2 nanometer promise: more power, less battery drain. And here's what nobody's talking about: switching from 3 to 2 nanometer reportedly raises the cost of each chip by around $35, a 70% increase from $50 to $85 per chip. And Apple is expected to absorb this cost internally. Analyst Ming-Chi Kuo doesn't believe Apple will raise iPhone 18 Pro prices, with Apple instead absorbing costs to gain market share. So Apple's eating a 70% chip cost increase and not passing it to you. That's honestly surprising. Now, remember when I said one of these features has been locked to professional cameras? This is it. The main 48 megapixel Fusion camera on both iPhone 18 Pro models is rumored to have a variable aperture, which would allow users to control the amount of light that passes through the lens and reaches the sensor. This would provide greater control over depth of field. Okay, let me break that down without the jargon. Right now, your iPhone camera is like a window that's permanently stuck halfway open. Light comes in, the phone's software decides what to do with it. A variable aperture means you can control how wide that window opens. Want everything in focus? Narrow it down. Want that creamy blurred background behind your subject? Open it up. This has long been a perk limited to high-end professional cameras. We're talking features from cameras that cost $3, $4, $5,000 now in your pocket. But, and this is the honest caveat, given that iPhones have smaller image sensors due to smartphone size constraints, it's unclear exactly how meaningful this improvement will be in practice. See, that's the part that's going to make or break this whole feature. The physics of a tiny smartphone sensor versus a full-frame camera sensor, they're just different. But if Apple nails the computational photography side of this, it could be genuinely huge. Apple is also rumored to have a wider aperture telephoto camera launching this year, among other camera improvements, which means low-light telephoto shots could finally stop looking like they were taken through a screen door. All right, let's rapid fire the last three because they're all connected by one theme. Apple quietly replacing everyone else's parts with their own. After years of development, Apple has officially started replacing Qualcomm cellular modems with in-house solutions. C1 debuted in iPhone 16e, C1X arrived in iPhone Air, and now a C2 modem is expected for the iPhone 18 Pro. The C2 could feature mmWave 5G connectivity, getting closer in performance to the Qualcomm chips it's replacing. And with the C2 modem, the iPhone 18 Pro models will reportedly support 5G via satellite for web browsing without Wi-Fi or cellular connectivity. Let that sink in. Browsing the internet via satellite. No Wi-Fi, no cell tower, just sky internet. That's not a phone feature. That's a survival tool. Battery. The iPhone 18 Pro Max will have a bigger battery and continues to have some of the best battery life in any smartphone. It's rumored to feature a 5,100 to 5,200 milliamp hour battery with additional efficiency from the 2 nanometer A20 Pro chip. A reputable leaker says the 18 Pro Max will be thicker and heavier than its predecessor, almost certainly for the purpose of packing a larger battery. And the camera control button, Apple is expected to simplify it on iPhone 18 Pro by removing touch sensitivity and haptic feedback. The redesigned button will only have pressure sensitivity, so fewer accidental triggers, more deliberate control. It's a small change, but if you have ever accidentally zoomed to 5 times while pulling your phone out of your pocket, you know. Oh, and one more thing that just dropped. A new report says those displays are coming with a key technology upgrade. Apple is moving to LTPO plus technology for its iPhone 18 Pro OLED panels. What does LTPO plus actually mean for you? It should allow higher refresh rates while using battery power more efficiently. So smoother scrolling that doesn't murder your battery. That's a win-win that actually feels like a win-win. So here's my honest take. The iPhone 18 Pro isn't a revolution. It's not going to make you gasp, but it might be one of the most strategically smart iPhones Apple's released in years. Every single one of these 6 features addresses a specific complaint. Dynamic island too big, smaller, back design is ugly, unified, camera lacks manual control, variable aperture, Qualcomm modem drains battery, replaced, battery life could be better, bigger battery plus a more efficient chip, and display. It's like Apple went on Reddit, read every complaint thread, and built a phone to systematically answer each one. which kind of surprised me. Now, the real question is whether that variable aperture camera delivers in real life or if it's just a spec sheet flex. That's what I'll be testing the second this phone launches. And by the way, this could be the first major iPhone unveiled under new CEO John Turnus after Tim Cook's retirement. So there's a whole extra layer of pressure on this thing. I'm curious though, is the variable aperture the feature you're most excited about, or is it something else? Drop it in the comments because I genuinely want to know what's actually pushing people to upgrade this year. Oh, and that dark cherry color, I'm calling it now. It's going to be the one that sells out first. Wine colored iPhone. Come on, that's just classy. Catch you next video. Peace.